So when we talk about the actor, so first of all, we will discuss about the the static mesh and the skeletal mesh. When we talk about the static mesh, is a piece of a geometry that consists of a set of the polygons. If I click on this basic shapes over here and drag and drop just my cube into my scene, press F. So when we see into the basic shapes, this is most are the static mesh, right? Static mesh is a consist of a set of the polygons that can be cached in a video memory and rendered by the graphic card. This allow them to be rendered efficiently, meaning they can be much more complex than other type of the geometry such as the brushes. When we talk about this geometry, I'll just show over here. Just one second. If you'll go to the world outliner, here we can able to see what is a type. Here we can see, for an example, this cube is the static mesh over here. If I'm dragging any geometry, for an example, this box over here, so this will be my brush, correct? Static mesh are the basic unit used to create the world geometry for the level created in Unreal Engine. These are the 3D models created in external modeling applications such as 3D Max, Maya, Softimage, and so on, that are imported into the Unreal editor through content browser. This I already shown you how we can import our model in Unreal Engine. The vast majority of any map into game made with the Unreal will consist of the static mesh, generally in the form of static mesh actor. Other use the static meshes are for the creating movers such as door or the lift, rigid body physics object, foliage and terrain decorizations, procedurally created buildings, game objective, and many more visual elements. If I'll see over here, I'll just type over here st underscore static meshes. I'll go to the my contain chair. Here we can see sm static mesh is there, right? So for an example, what I'll do, I'll just drag drop this chair into my scene. In my world outliner, I can see that is a static mesh. So there are different way we can change the inside of the character. For an example, this is the one character which I imported. This is my static mesh character. If I'll go down into my your detail options over here, here I can able to see this is my static chair. If I want to change, I do not change my actor, but I will change the inside of my actor. If I'll change over here, if I'll see this is become a different object, but if you see the name of the character remains the same. Again, I click on this arrow here, I will find it out how much 3D actors if I want to replace are the main property of that brush. If I'll say select in this, press F, here you can see this is again become a one foliage, but the name remains the same. I'm not changing the actor, I'm only changing the inside of my static meshes over here, correct? If I'll say zoom in zoom out, so this is the my static mesh actor over here. Here I can change it as per the my requirement, right? So when we talk about the static mesh, we can change. If I'll just click over here, it will send me the directions. What I'll do, I just need to select any of my object, for an example SM. If I want to change into this, I'll select my uh, actors over here, and I just need to click on this arrow, so automatically this will get replaced into the same character. See again, so move, rotation, scaling property will be the same, only my static mesh got changed over here, right? If I click, it will show me directions of that which I want to do. Again, I'll just select this my table, click over here. Now this has become my static meshes over here. Select this and press F, correct? Now when we talk about the skeletal mesh, we can animate individual part of the mesh, right? See, when we talk about the difference between the static mesh and the skeleton geometry, in static mesh we can't do the animations in skeletal property, yes, we can do the animations to slow the physics. See, for an example, if I'll just start to play over here, here you can see. Now again, this is, we can say, a static mesh, right? This objects which I'm hitting with my bullet over here. So these are the static meshes over here. Press escape. For an example, what I'll do again, I'll drop to my cubes. Now press F. I'll just maximize this my viewport. I'll put this over here. If this is my object, right? If I'll see from my camera view over here, again F11, I'll just play into. I can't see any movement to this character. If I click over here, this has become the rigid. So what I'll do, I'll select my cube. I'll go to its outliner property, and this time I will select the movable on your right hand side. I'll just go down. Let's see the more property. This is the, here you can see the static mesh. We can change inside of that. This is the material elements over here. Just below that, there is a physics property. Now simulate physics. If I just click over here, here you can see by default enable gravity is on. Now if I'll play my game, I can able to see this box which I've created. Now it's animated. Let me put it a little bit bigger size. There is to be the more distance, so that will be easy to see. Now see, that is animated. If I try to hit this cube, here you can see it is automatically flying over there. Now stop over here, press F, select this property, go F. So this is I'm doing into a static mesh. If I'm importing geometry, if you are downloading any lower versions of Unreal, the name will be the difference. It will become over here BSP, that is called binary space partitions over here. But if you are working on the 4.25 Unreal or 4.26, here we can see the geometry which name they have given over here. If I drag and drop my this cube over here, here you can say, here we are not getting any physical properties options, right? So here we can't do the animations like, you know, the flap animation. If I want to do, I can't do that. Select and just delete this area, box cubes, and just delete that. Now we'll discuss more about this on the static mesh. If I'll select and go down, here we have the mass. If I'm adding, giving the more value into the mass, it will become a more heavy. Say for an example, 1000 this kg, and just start to play. Here you can see it's become a more heavy mass kg over here, right? Just below that we have the more property, linear damping and the angular damping. If I'll turn off this, enable gravity, now it will work like, you know, a space kind of things. This will fly like spaceship. Here we can see there are no gravitations applied to it, right? Escape again, zoom, just drag it down more, stop and play. Just play this. Here you can see there are no gravity which has applied to this. This will be the continuations here. This box or the cube, the static mesh is flying. Press escape, go zoom out over here. If I turn on this, this will be a enable gravity will be on. Now if I'll play it again, here we will see here this is a, like interacting with the character. Stop, move. Here we can see this cube is moving, right? Again I'll go over here, press escape, zoom out. Now we will talk about more about the linear damping. Now linear damping controls how much physics body or the constraint resistant translations, and angular damping control how much they resist rotating. Now if I'll increase this linear damping value over here, and again I'll go and just play this, place it here, you can see This is not rotating that much. Right now, if I'll say angular damping and linear damping make this to a 0, and angular damping little bit more, if I'll make this to a 30, here we can see this rotations after the hitting of that character. This will rotate very fast. Stop and just give the little bit more linear damping over here. I'll reduce the mass into something 10. Stop, play. Here we can see that the movement. I'll increase the more angular damping nearby 2000 or something. Linear damping to the minus. Stop and this play. Here you can see it's got bounce. The secondary movement is too much. So angular damping I'll this give this time only a 300. Linear damping minus 10. Just start and play over here. Turn off this angular gravity, start and this play. So there is a multiple time we need to, give the value and see how much effects what we are getting. This is totally depending upon our the game requirement. This to give the linear damping more, or linear damping make this to a 0. Start, play. Let's reduce this into something by 10. Stop and play. Mass is too much, just give this to a mass 1. Gravity on. Stop and play. I'll just say build on. So I've added the more objects in my scene. So whenever we are facing this error, always we have to do the build. Into the build, there are some options which I like to show. When I click on this build, we have the build lighting quality. You want into a production, high, medium, and for the preview purpose. If you have the good configuration machines, you can do into the productions. Or if you want to just check for the prototype, you can click on this preview file over here. This is a building the light over here, 91% has completed. So this is the main difference between the static mesh and the skeletal mesh over here. We'll see more about as process I will show what are the different property we have into the geometry. If you see that error is gone now. Again go to this arrow and just click on this play. Right? You can do the mask edge if you want to apply it. Just make it by default over here. Again build and play. So this is like the difference of what you can do. This is the static mesh over here again. If I'll select this object here, will say the linear damping is 0.01 over here. Mask edge is 4.2, just for the references. Now just for an example how I open this project, go to the file, open project is new project over here, games, first person game. If you just click on that, create next, and this file will get open. This is a by default inbuilt in Unreal Engine. Now we'll talk something about the brushes, right? What is the brushes what we have? This is the geometry we call as a brush. So over here, geometry brushes are the most basic tool for level constructions in Unreal. Conceptually, it is the best to think of a geometry brush as a filling in and carving out volume of a space in your level. Previously, geometry brushes were used as a primary building block into the level engine. These are all brushes we can use into the the prototype. Now, however, that the role has been passed to the static meshes, which are far more efficient. Again, if you are downloading the the previous or the older version of the Unreal, there will be a little bit variations in that. But when we talk about this 4.26, we can see the geometry brushes over here. Brushes mean the 3D area and the space and the more basic shapes, right? Here we can see we are getting a box. If I drag and drop over here, if I'm making a duplicate, if I want to make any level or any, we can say the modeling, any exterior or the interior part of my scene, if I'm using a geometry, it will take more RAM. If I'll say Control W, I'm just making a duplicate of that file over here, that my object, just W. shortcut key for that is the Control W. And here you can see it's taking a making a duplicate instance over here. If I'm selecting this object, instead I'll say Control and W, again I'm making an instance of the same object. But in Unreal Engine, static mesh will consume a very less RAM compared to the brush type. So this is, always we have to decide like which is on which we want to create any 3D models from the 3D softwares, or we want to modify into Unreal objects only. F11 again is over here. Mesh saves one memory, and BSP will calculate the more memory after creating a multiple duplicates, right? Now, first of all, I'll create the new level over here. This is my default. I will save and select over here. This is my new level. Now we'll try to see what the different property and the options what we have in brushes. When I'll select the brush into my, the place mode over here, here we have the option add in the subtract. First, I will create one cube over here, press F. If I'll select and move, right? Here we have the more properties. When we'll go to the, the world outliner, below that we have the detail options over here. Here we have the brush type, we have adhesive, and we have subtractive. So brush type you want into a box, you want to be in the cone, or you want into a cube builders. Here we can change by default what brushes we have over here. The same options we have in our detail panel. This is my cone builder, and this time again I take the cube over here. Here we have the XYZ, the size of that XYZ. Here we can change, modify and express the requirement. That is the option is called the hollow. How much hollow you want over here. It's kind of, we can't, for an example, I'll create one more cube over here. This time I will select the subtractive and drag and drop over here. Here we can see it's came just only into a wireframe. If I'll move in that area, this has become automatically subtractive over here. So this is a very easy if I'm making a door. So there is just only the one component over here. Just drag and drop. You can scale and reduce it. But we have to make very clarify what will be the size before importing over here. Just move over here, drag and drop. If that option is off, I'll select this my cube over here. I'll go to the down. Select cube, up arrow, down arrow. We have the hollow. Here I can increase and decrease the thickness as well. Here you can see. If that option is off, on, right? So if I want to make any door kind of element over here, so this is very easy with the help of this subtractive. I can do that. Tessellate we have like wireframe. If you want to get, here we can say this has become a triangular over here. So each and every geometry of the BSP object have their own properties and value. As of now, we are looking into a cube. If I'll go down over here, these are the main properties of that particular cube. Select and delete. When we talk about the cone, I need to be the add. I'll just change this into the add. Press F. Add is additive we have, cone we have. Here we can change the different shapes of the geometry. Here we have the size only. Outer radius, here we can increase and decrease over here. Again, go to if I want to apply my Maya key shortcut keys. Viewport, middle mouse into this pan, just close it. Now this is my Maya key shortcuts over here. Just maximize this view. Now there is a one important options over here. I don't require this material editor as of now. Okay, when I've created this cube over here, Just 1 second. We will start, and here we have the option how much size do we require. Here we can change it very easily. Normally what we are seeing into a 3D or any Maya software, here we have the sides. Here we can change as per the requirement. If I turn off these options, here you can see this is parallel to my grid. If that option is off, here we can see it's not will not be a parallel to my grid. If I turn these options, here we can see this will be the parallel to my grid. So this is depend upon the requirement, like how much and what kind of the alignments we required as per our scene demand. We have this hollow. As of now, we are not doing into the interactive or subtractive over here. Now we'll talk about the some cubes. I'll go down. Box brushes, cone, cylinder brushes we have. Here we have the different property, right? So each and every brush have the different settings over here. When we talk about this curve staircase, here we have the inner radius, outer radius, step height. Here we can change as per the requirement. Angle of curve, if you want to give the more angle to your staircase over here. Number of the steps we have here, you can increase your number of the steps, but once you started to number of the steps, here we can see the rotation angle is getting a change. Maximum stays, number of the curve I can reduce. Add to the first steps. Clockwise, counterclockwise we can change, right? Then we have the linear staircase, control F. Step length we have, step width we have, maximum number of the steps here you can see. Spiral staircase we have. If I'll see over here, this will be my spiral staircase. Go up. Now here we can see the number steps per 360 degree. If I'll increase the maximum number steps into 32, so this will make a 2 spiral rotations over here. And you can see this is the 1 and the 2. If I'll make this into 32, that will be just only the 1 rotations, spiral rotations of that. Again, I'll make this to a 16 or 16. That will be the only the one. Like slope selling we have. If you'll see, turn on and off these options. Slope floor, if I'll click over here, counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise. This is just the spheres over here. Select F, select this object. So we have spheres. We can change the shape, and this is only the radius and the tessellations value. This means that I'm adding the more triangular into my scenes. There are many properties is gonna come into the Unreal 5. Right, so if you see over here, like this is the different geometry or the brush type. Here we can see this is the all the brush types we have. This is the benefits when we are doing a prototype of the gaming. So as of now, I'll create. Now we'll see something about the materials. I hope you understood about the static mesh and the geometry brush editor. Now we'll discuss something more about the brushes. So for an example, if I drag and drop any of my object over here, if I want to apply the material by default which I have in my content, what I have to do, I have to do drag and drop of my two object. Drag and drop this to your object. Select this object, drag and drop to that. Just 1 second. Why this is calculating the more times. Let me just create the new level. Simple. First person underscore one. I'm just creating a new level. I'm just drag and drop the cube over here. If you'll see, this is automatically as came. Now, before creating, if I've selected any material, then after I'm dragging and creating this material, so automatically selected material will apply over here onto my selected object. For an example, I have selected this material. This time I'll create the cylinder. This will calculate some time. But here we have seen this. After selecting or creating anything, automatically that material will apply. Here we can see this, right? And there are other benefit we can modify or we can change is this particular material. If I want, drag and drop into this particular area, I can do that. I can change this material into something like this also. So into the different brush editor, we are getting or we can apply this different material as per our selections. Just reduce it over here. Move size, thumbnail, I'll just reduce a little bit smaller. That will be very easy to see that. For an example, again, if I'm selecting over here and I'm this time creating any curve steps, stairs, then just select. Here you can see we already applied over here the same material. So everybody have seen the the prototype gaming. So this is very simple way we can apply this material whatever we have in our content browser, or we can import our material from the other softwares as well. When I'll select my brush types, here we can see there are different options we have the geometry over here. If I'll select this my object, right, here I'm not able to see that properties. If I want to change this particular face, right, now here you will see I have not selected that object, I have just selected this particular face of this polygon. Here we can see this wireframe into in darker or the little bit brighter into the orange outline. Here we have the geometry and the select in the append, the assign alignments. Once I click over here into the select, like normally in Maya we have edit select faces or edit select a continue edges. Same we have select all adjacent surfaces. Now here we can say this every object is apply on the same material. If I'll select over here geometry, select all adjacent surface, select all coplanar surfaces, select all adjacent wall surfaces we have, select all adjacent surfaces. If I click in my viewport and if I click as per my requirement, that particularly face is selected, just drag and drop in that material. It will take some time to apply on that. If I'll click, if I want to get more options or if I want to put my UV texture editors, normally when we are doing, we can rotate, we can do scaling and increase and decrease that particular the face for the UV. I'll go here and say clean geometry materials. It will clean which material we have applied. All surface to default, right? So this is very useful when we are doing individually material. Here we are not making the ID. Just below that we have the surface property. If I'll say click on this plan 256, correct, and say 164, this is the movement, UNV textures movement. Now why UNV? We always use for the when we are texturing into the texture editor, UV editor. If I click over here, here I can do increase and decrease. Here you can see I'm rotating it. Here I can assign my value, which if I want to give any value, I can do that. This is the pan. This is the clockwise or anti-clockwise rotation of my textures editors. Now if I scale this to my object, you will see it is already calculating the same way. If I'll scale it a little bit down, here you can see my tiling remains the same. 90 degree if you want to rotate, flip U, flip V. Select this, flip U, flip V. I can do that as well. So this is the power of the the BSP or the geometry, the brush editors. I'll select my object, correct. Here we can scale, like if I require to scale into 1.25 and say apply. Here you can see I can scale that as per my requirement, also scale it. Now again, if I scale in the bigger scale size, right? See, here you can see my tiling remains the same. This is automatically will adjust as per the scaling, right? This is a normal. Again, into the BSP, if I'll select or click any object, so it will select that particular face. If I'll say up arrow over here and just select this of my part object over here, here you can say I'm not able to see that particular property. Move. Now I'm able to see the actual property of that, right? So this is into the BSP. This is into the different material. If I'll select any material, then after I'm dragging that particular object, that material will automatically apply over here. A material, we can say, is an asset that can change or that can be applied to the mesh to control the visual look. Correct? I'm just giving into controlling my visual look of the scenes. At the highest level, it is probably the easiest to think of the material as the paint that can apply to an object, but even that can be a little misleading since the materials literally define the type of the surface. Right here, see, this is already applied over here. With your object appear to be the made, you can define its color, how shiny you require. If I double click on that object, I will able to open this material editor over here. I'll just move this. This is my main base material over here. If I want to change any particular property, yes, I can do that as well. Two-sided, its material you require, physics material, suffix, opaque material you require. Here we can change into the two-sided. Here we can see it takes some time to calculate in that. But that is the possible how we can do this, into the difference. So all the property we have, I will explain the more detail about, the material editor. If I want to edit that particular material, I need to double click on that. So I'm able to open that material editor slot. And if I want to edit my static mesh over here, double click on that object. So again, this will open my static mesh editors over here, there are different property into a static mesh editor. We can, play with the collision property, level of detail of property, right? So there are multiple ways. Slowly we will start to work on that. So into the uh, this is the like the UV sets we have. Okay, here we can stretch as per the requirement. Here I will say I'll reduce into 0.65, 0.625 and just apply over here. You can see this particularly UV scale reduce. So this is really very important. Before applying any material to the brush, always select the main property of that materials. Select up arrow. Here we can see we'll find the more properties. Right. Now we'll see something about the light now. Normally in Unreal, there are different type of the lights are there. We have directional light over here. We have the point light. We have spotlight, rectangle light, and the skylight. So what I'll do, first of all, I'll create my empty level over here. Level underscore 2 if I'll give this. And I'll just drag to my geometry. I'll just create one cube. Just try to scale it, let it down and just scale it. Or I can, increase the size and the length of this. I'll just make this to 100 and 100. And this time I will take static mesh chairs in my scene. Press F. Now first I'll draw a directional light. So first I'll explain what is the in right. We have in Unreal 4, there are different types available: directional light, point light, spotlight, rectangle light, and the skylight. When we talk about the directional lights are primarily use the outdoor light or any light that needs to be appear as it is a casting light from the extreme or the near infinite distance. Point light, we can say the classic light bulb, like the light emitting into all directions from the single point. Spotlight, we have spotlight emit light from the single point. I'll just drag and drop over here. This is the my point light. If I'm drag and drop over, this will be my spotlight. And when we talk about the directional light, again this will be the one directional light over here. Just try to delete this point light and the spotlight. Here we can say this is only direct into the one axis, correct? This is the rectangle lights over here.